Hello and welcome to Paramecia, a One Piece fancast where we review the latest chapter of One Piece and have a different One Piece related discussion every week. My name is Franz.
My name is John.
And this week we'll be playing a little bit of catch up because we missed last week. We'll be doing both chapter 909, Seppuku, and chapter 910, Now to Wano.
These were crazy chapters. I will say we missed last week because I went to a fighting game tournament and got my ass handed to me in like the best possible way. It was really fun. But while I was there, I did read this new chapter, and 909 was really good. And 910 is pretty good too.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Like while you were out there, I was reading it while getting day drunk with a couple of friends.
Nice.
So all around good time. I mean, you did essentially the same thing at CEO, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Exactly. So
it was good times all around.
Point is, you're supposed to get day drunk while reading One Piece. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's the optimal way to enjoy One Piece.
So, yeah, let's just bang this out. Start out with chapter 909. Like I said, Seppuku.
Yeah, 909
opens
Seppuku,
up
man.
with Orlumbus, 4 p.m., a pirate's first battle, open fire, and
they're like shooting at somebody, but we can't see what. So I don't.
Yeah, just some tattered ass houses or something. Probably something to like store in your brain for the deep cut no mi.
Yeah. Probably. 900 chapters from now, we're gonna see like those curved like castle things and be like, I know what this island is. Orlumbus was here.
Yeah, because One Piece is still going to be around for another 900 chapters.
Yeah, dude.
No exaggeration.
Yeah. This chapter starts off. So it starts off following the minks. Like we find out Oda shows us where Nekomamushi is. And we know that Nekomamushi went to the island. He went to find Marcos and the remainder of the Whitebeard pirates. So it shows like the guardian minks like just chilling.
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy. It shows them just chilling near their boat, like towards the like edge of the island. They're like, oh well, he told us to wait, so we gotta wait.
And then we get like a few more like where Oda's operating off of like this whole let's do tidbits, because not most readers will probably not remember all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
Unlike us.
Yeah. Most readers don't have the deep cut no mi.
For fucking real. But they keep talking about how like Nekomamushi was the only one that goes in. Something about them being too scary, but like Nekomamushi is a giant fucking cat with like scars and missing an arm, and he smokes opium all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Garfield Unhinged is like the scarier than all of them combined.
Well, Garfield is sitting there waiting for Marco, new and cooler Marco with glasses. And to be honest, it makes him a little hot. Not a lot, but it makes him a little hot.
Dude, Marco is hella hot. Fuck you.
You know what? You got me there. But he's sitting there with his capris, his like 3/4 open dress shirt, glasses, and he's like healing this giant ox thing. And here there's an Oda box now, former Whitebeard pirates, first squad captain, parentheses, ship's doctor, Marco. And I'm pretty sure this is the first time that we've been told exactly what his role on the Whitebeard pirates was.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't remember it ever being revealed. All we got in Marineford was that he was the first squad captain. But this would make perfect sense because he was Whitebeard's like right-hand man. Every time we saw Whitebeard, Marco was there. And it would make sense because Whitebeard was sick as shit during Marineford. Like, it would make perfect sense that Marco is near him all the time because if he has to, perform some emergency healing or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the hell that, like, Marco does. Because, like, it's shown that he heals using his, like, phoenix flames of, like, it was, like, named, like, some shit of restoration. Flame of restoration. but like, is he a real doctor? Does he know how to like actual Chopper's doctoring? Is Marco
Yeah.
doctoring? Is my question. Or does he just set shit on fire and say, well, that's fixed?
I think he might actually like know what he's doing, but it also helps that he has this like phoenix like phoenix down fruit.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Why'd you do this?
Oh my god. Yeah, I've not to dwell on him like a lot because we get more of him like talking to Nekomamushi, but I will casual Marco is sick. We saw like casual Marco in he's always been casual Marco. Like his uniform at Marineford was like the same thing. It was like a fucking like Hawaiian shirt and like shorts. Like the same capris.
Yeah, you're right.
But I'm digging like black capris, white dress shirt, and glasses. I'm digging casual hot Marco.
It's business casual.
Yeah, I'm digging business casual Marco. Yeah, so it just, you know, all the villagers are like, after he heals the cat, all the villagers are like, oh, like I want, like my back hurts, like heal me, my I stubbed my toe, heal me. Like they're all just like these old people, just like, hey, fix me. But then it cuts to an interesting conversation between Nekomamushi and Marco, in which Marco tells him that the village was built by Whitebeard. And then Marco reveals that there's certain... so we learned about the Celestial Gold. Like, you have to make a payment to the world government in order to gain their protection. Or in order to be a part of the world government. Because when Pinkbeard attacked that island that the revolutionaries saved, the girl from the SBS, she mentioned, she's like, oh, like, we barely scrape by. Like, we can barely get enough offerings to give to the celestial dragons, like, please. So Marco just reveals that, like, yeah, like, the reality of it is that there's a lot of islands that can't afford that, and because of that they just get like, you know, there's nothing that can stop them from just getting pillaged by pirates, like, over and over. And he reveals that Whitebeard was one of the children, like, was one of the orphans from, like, these islands. I think this island, in fact.
Yeah, no, specifically this island.
Yeah.
And he further mentions that, like, his family and friends, like, died and everything, but he really cared about this island being his homeland, so much so that he, like, sent all of his money over here, all of supplies over here, his whole entire life.
Yeah, like, every bit of money he got, he would send it over here. Yeah, Marco talks about also, like, after Whitebeard died, he says, like, the very least we could do was protect, like, all the things that were important to him. And then he talks a bit about the payback war against Blackbeard, because I guess Blackbeard hunted them down, from what I'm understanding. Or maybe they sought him out.
I don't know. The way I read it was that they knew they weren't going to take Whitebeard, they weren't going to take Blackbeard down himself, so they just, like, did, like, kidney punches to his entire, like, force and everything,
yeah,
as much as they could.
Yeah, and there's an interesting thing. He's like, oh, Nekomamushi's like, oh, so this place, it's your last memento of Pops, isn't it? And then Marco is like, yeah, Red Hair built him a tomb nearby too. So it's like, Shanks was the one who built Ace and Whitebeard's tomb, like, and the tomb that Sabo, like, you know, the tomb that Sabo visited, like, with, like, of Ace's grave, that was on this island.
Oh,
which I just thought I thought that was hella sick. Like, Shanks is the homie. Like, he ended the war, and then even after the war, he, like, respected Whitebeard so much that, like, you know, he gave him a proper, like, burial.
I mean, they were, like, tight enough and everything, but it's interesting that his own crewmates, Whitebeards, didn't really, like, know about this place, but Shanks knew for some reason, and whatever it might be. And I can kind of understand the revolutionaries knowing, because the revolutionaries are, like, spread out, especially towards islands like this that were just struck because they didn't have the same protection from the world government.
Yeah.
So, that's some shit, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, I liked it. I was like, oh, it kind of brings all the characters a little bit closer, because, like, we knew that Whitebeard and Shanks were close, but it's like to see him do that, to see Shanks do that for him, like that's, you know, that's respect, man. But yeah, and then Marco just like, man, he like breaks down, he's like crying a bit. I'm just like, dude, like,
I love him.
Me too,
He's
bro.
laughing
like,
and crying. I hate this.
Yeah, because he's like, he just reveals like casually while he's like tearing up and like laughing. He's like, we all knew that Whitebeard was like stingy. We all knew that he was stingy, and like, you know, we all knew that he was like keeping the money for himself, and we all knew that this is where it was going. But
goddamn,
yeah.
And after he gets that out of his system, he brings up by himself I forgot he was a Shichibukai Weevil, and all of this shit of just like, oh, is he really like Whitebeard's son? Like, he's looking after some inheritance and stuff, and it's like, you know, he might be like Whitebeard's son, because apparently his mother, quote unquote, Bakin, used to be with, he used to sail around with Whitebeard. She used to sail around with Whitebeard 30 years ago, ... no, closer to 40, ...
40,
to quote Marco.
40 fucking years ago. That was me slamming my phone on my desk.
Dude,
it's
40 years.
We are Jim Carrey with the number 40. That's
Dude,
my movie where I spiral into insanity. What does it mean?
The whole like fucking meme thing with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like, oh, 42 is the
meaning of life,
the meaning of life, and the answer and everything.
Yeah,
and it's like, fuck you Oda, for doing this to us.
Yeah,
I hate this.
It was funny when it was done to other people, Oda, but to turn the blade to us, come on, bro.
Yeah, fuck you. I'll find you. I swear to God, Oda.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just mentioned that like she's looking for the inheritance, and there just really isn't one, because the inheritance itself is this homeland. Everything that he was protecting is what he did for his life. It was his inheritance.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, even from like the couple panels we saw of Weevil, like, it was very apparent that he was stupid enough to act like that, you know? Like, you could already tell that he would, like, whatever the truth actually is doesn't matter, because in his head he's already convinced himself of like what he believes is fact. So he believes that there is some kind of treasure that Whitebeard had, and he believes that he's owed it, like, as inheritance.
That, and like what his mother like feels to him.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that. It's the mother also being like, psst, you're Whitebeard's son,
yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, by the way, bro. Yeah, I did, when I read that, like, oh, they'll eventually come after me in this place. And Nekomamushi was like, I see, so you can't leave here. That makes sense. And I was like, fuck, like, please, just get Jozu or somebody to watch over. Like, you gotta come to Wano, bro.
Man, I don't, at this point, like, Wano is just so
shit's going down in Wano.
So much, like, we took for granted.
Yeah.
And now we don't know anything of what's going on.
Yeah. I will say, before jumping into Wano, because the next page it gets into Wano, I am interested in what Marco's message to Luffy is, because he said, if you're going to meet Straw Hat Luffy, I need you to send a message for me, Nekomamushi. And Nekomamushi's like, oh, no problem. And he's like, heading to Wano, right? And he's like, yep. But I don't know what his message could be to Luffy.
Maybe something related to Ace, maybe some memento Ace had or something.
Maybe. Maybe. I know that Oda and the editors at some point, they confirmed that, like, in Wano there is going to be an Ace flashback. Because remember, Ace did go to Wano. That's where he? Yeah, he went to Wano at some point in his journey, and that's how he learned to make the the like worker's hat that he gave to Oars Jr.
Huh.
That the little rice field hat that he gave that Oars Jr. wears in Marineford.
Oh.
He gave like Ace is the one that gave that hat to him, and he learned how to make that hat in Wano.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know what he did in Wano. That was never specified, but I'm pretty sure the flashback is going to specify like why he was there.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Jumping straight into Wano, the way it opens is very picturesque because it's very like stage play like, in that the curtain parts, there is a geisha there with like some kind of like kitsune mask on, and the curtain parts as she like plays the shamisen and shit, and we see Wano country in this crazy ass bombastic like Edo period kind of architecture everywhere. And it's just like,
it's fucking
hey,
awesome.
What do you know about Japan? Oh, like those gate things and shrines and like bonsai trees and sakura? Cool, it's all fucking here.
Multiplied by 10, assholes. Yeah, Oda went nuts. The design of all of these buildings are all the main buildings, it's like, oh, it's so beautiful. I can't wait to see this entrance scene like in the anime. It's probably get there. Because, like, you know, like you said, like, it's really cinematic, like, you know, like a stage play intro. But I can only imagine how they're going to actually be able to, like, animate it like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, props to Oda for doing what he can with the medium.
Yeah, no, definitely. He is. I mean, there's multiple examples I think that we've covered before. Like, he is so good with the medium he works with.
Man, like, I remember first seeing this and being like, wait, why are we at the Grand Mac? Because for some reason, the bonsai tree is, like, curved over this, like, huge palace thing. And, like, just that whole thing reminded me of the fucking Grand Mac again.
Wano country is the Burger King.
And after that grand old flag,
yeah,
I don't know what I was going to say after that. But
after Grand Mac 2,
what we get is we get all the former Straw Hats, not the former Straw Hats. We get all the other Straw Hats, the ones that went to Wano first, and like tidbits and like what they're doing as far as this. First one we see is Frankie posing as a carpenter named Frenosuke. Nosuke being a like very old timey sounding like name suffix kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like it's making a comeback for some fucking reason. All of my students are named like something Nosuke, and I'm like, really?
Dude, that's anime as fuck.
It's stupid. I hate it so much. Anyways, John has a deep cut for y'all. Like, just do it.
Yeah,
just
so you know, like Law, the stupid stance he goes into when he activates the room. He's holding his hand up. That's me right now, like activating the deep cut.
I hate you.
Oh man, yeah. So Frankie in Wano is acting as a carpenter, and he's working under like a master carpenter, and the master carpenter is a pre-existing character of Oda's that first appeared in SBS Volume 7, like the 7th volume SPS of One Piece all the way back. What it was in the first chapter, or in the first volume, I don't know if it's the first chapter, but in the first volume, when the bandits come into the bar and they destroy the bar that Shanks is in, they like cause a ruckus and they leave. One of them kicks down the door, like he just knocks it off the hinges, like it's destroyed. And then in like the same scene when they're leaving, the door is on the hinges, like fixed. And it's obvious, like it's so obvious that it's like it was just a mistake that nobody caught. Like the background artist probably just drew it, like, you know, whatever. But somebody called Oda out in the SBS and like, Oda, like, in the first volume, when the bandits enter the bar, they destroy the door. So why is it that when they leave, it's repaired? And he's like, no, like, That was the work of the carpenter Minatomo-san. He has a short temper, so he cannot pass by a broken door or what have you without repairing it. I assure you, it wasn't a mistake. There's a little picture of Minatomo-san. The same, I don't know, I forget what the symbol is, but on his shoulder, it's the same symbol.
On his shoulder, it means big.
Yeah. He's in his nose. He has like 2 nails coming out of his nose. He has the little rope around his head and the hammer. It's the same fucking character. It's Minatomo-san. Like, just all the way from Volume 7, just casually coming back, teaching Frankie how to be a carpenter in Wano.
I hate that you got this. That, like, how? How does this work? How does your power work?
Bro, it's Minatomo-san, dude. I don't know.
It's the discussion this week. How the fuck do you know this?
Bro, he's just, I don't know. I recognized the nails in the nose, but at first I was like,
okay.
What? I was like, I couldn't pinpoint where he was from. I was like, he's definitely like from Oda's mind, but I don't know where. Like, I didn't know if he was from a previous chapter or not. And then I finally like hunted it down online, and it was like, oh no, it's from SBS Volume 7. And then I was like, oh shit, yeah. Like, I remember that picture where he's in that he's like holding his head and a little box, and then he's saying like, oh, like, don't joke around, punk. Like, he's like yelling at you.
Absolutely buck wild. Damn.
Yeah.
Next in line in catching up with what they're doing, fucking Usopp is now like a toad oil salesman called Usohachi, and like this fits him so well.
Yeah, this
way
fits him
too
so
well.
I want to say that like his knife isn't like a real knife, and there's like ketchup or something.
Like he's more likely to develop a knife that spits ketchup,
yeah,
than like developing some cure-all like toad oil or some shit. Like I don't even know. And Robin is working really hard to become a geisha. She's like working with like old geisha and everything. There's a little Maiko-san in the back, which I guess flex my major really quick. There's a distinction. There's like a hierarchy in which like retired geisha train like the new geisha and everything. But like trainee geisha are referred to as Maiko. And so like you can distinguish them by like how much makeup they're wearing, like how elaborate the hairpiece is, the clothes that they're wearing. There's a bunch of shit with it. But the point is, like, Robin's past a trainee point because of, like, all the stupid shit in her hair.
Yeah.
And because of the length of the obi and everything.
Yeah.
And there's something that's, like, mentioned here that, like, the lady training her is like, you're crazy, keep it together. At this rate, there's no way the Shogun will summon you from his chambers in such a short time. And what?
My like right now the working there I think is what's going on. I'm pretty sure she's doing this because she has to know that she probably has a hunch that in the Shogun's, like, the Shogun has a poneglyph, right?
Oh.
So she's probably doing this to get into the Shogun's chamber so she can read the poneglyph.
Okay.
That's what I think is going on.
Yeah, no, I thought it was just like some Ocean's 11 shit where everyone's like involved in this. Like, Usopp's getting like money and like Frankie's like finding out the inner workings of some shit.
Yeah, Robin as Orobi is, damn, she might be number 1 now. Fuck it, she is number 1 now.
All I know is that the next comic hit is going to be full of Robin.
Full of Robin. Damn. Paradise, basically.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so next it just cuts to a flashback of I'm assuming when they first arrived at Wano. And it's Kinemon telling all of them, like, listen here, like, this is Wano country. The Shogun's name is Kurozumi Orochi. his officials and underlings stink of Kaido, every last one. That's why they're being allowed to run amok. If we lay a hand on them, Kaido will get wind of it fast. And he's just like, we have to become citizens and lay low for now. Like, for now, we have to lay as low as we possibly can before we can carry out the actual mission. And I'm like, all right, like, from the first 3 we've gotten, yeah, that seems like it's a possibility. Like, Frankie, Robin, and Usopp, we're all doing good. And then we get to Zoro. Because when you see Zoro's face, like, like thinking about it, and then before even getting to the next page, if you actually think about it, you're like, wait a minute. How is Zoro gonna lay low when he has the fucking hero of Wano's sword on his hilt at all times?
Man, poor Zoro. He's in some shit. But before we get into that, I'm gonna flex the reason I'm several digits in debt now. Because, so the Shogun's name,
Orochi?
Kurozumi Orochi. Kuro probably means black. Zumi is
a clothing store.
Yeah, Zumi's, traditional Japanese clothing store Zumi's. And Orochi is a reference to this like very popular myth in Japanese culture in which Susanoo, brother of Amaterasu, is like seen as the god of like night or storms or a lot of things. He's the god of storms, but like, he's seen as a lot of other things. And the abridged version was, Amaterasu, you fucking suck. What the hell, man? And like kicked them out of like heaven or some shit. And Susanoo was like, well, fuck. And he just like went around and like ended up becoming like some kind of bum in some way. And then he went past this like island that had some issue with like, oh, we have a bunch of like, we need to sacrifice our daughters every 7 years and everything, and this is the 8th time we're sacrificing a daughter. And he's like, well, that fucking sucks dick. And so he helps them out, and then he goes over to the island, and like turns out there's just an 8-headed snake there, and the 8-headed snake is Orochi.
Nice.
So it's not even a deep cut. It's a very, very popular myth, actually.
Yeah. I remember it from the Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah. It shows up in pop culture a lot. One of the most popular iterations of it is in Okami, the game.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. The same exact monster. Orochi is very similar to that. So yeah.
Nice. And then I just looked up. Did you ever say what Zumi could be?
Kuro can mean black. Zumi could be,
because I looked up
the clothing store.
Yeah, that clothing store. No, I was looking up what it could be, and I found Izumi, which means like spring or fountain. And I know sometimes in Japanese when they like combine words, I mean, I don't know, I'm probably making you cringe hard as fuck, but I have recognized that like when they combine words, sometimes they'll omit parts of another word and like slam it to the end of it.
With names that does happen, but like in this being like the Edo period, people aren't so like fresh with it now. Like I have some students that have like the dumbest readings I've ever seen, and I'm like, this what? I'm sorry, what's your fucking first name? Bitch? What? But this being like supposedly Edo period, I don't think that might be the case. Zumi could be like end or like finish, like completion is the kind of like feeling it's going for, is what I think is most likely, but I'm not going to look up the raws right now.
Yeah.
The raws might be like in katakana instead of kanji. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Either way, yeah. We get to Zoro, and Zoro is so it's we get like a somebody speaking, and they're like, oh, like we finally caught the killer. Like now the killer's gonna submit seppuku to whatever for the 3 victims he killed. And then we knew thee as a killer, and peace will return to our streets with thy death. But to think you were a grave robber too. And it shows Zoro being presented with the seppuku knife. And this guy is just like talking to him like, oh, like, amidst the confusion of the pirate incident, 2 things disappeared 23 years ago. The body of the legendary swordsman Ryuma and his sword, Shusui. And, I mean, we know that was, what's his face?
Gecko Moria.
Yeah, we know that was Gecko Moria because he was trying to fight and kill Kaido. But, yeah, and then we get the Oda box Ronin Zoro Juro.
Man, the whole thing is just like Zoro being like, oh, am I supposed to fight you with this thing? It doesn't have a hilt. I mean, he makes a joke where like hilt ith.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're all talking to him in like this weird
Yeah, because like Japanese has evolved in the last like couple hundred years. What they're probably using is the Degozaru form, where like if you say I am blue in Japanese, it's like watashi wa aoi desu. You would end with the copula des.
Yeah.
But like the copula, for some whatever goddamn dumb reason, in the Edo period, the copula was degozaru, and formally it would be degozaimasu. So the same sentence, I am blue, would be whatever dumbass pronouns they used in the Edo period.
Yeah.
Wa aoi degozaimasu. And fuck Japanese. Don't learn Japanese. Japanese is bad.
Hey. Yeah, it's this whole section is funny. They're all like talking to him, and the guy's like pulling out Shusui, and he's like, oh, like, you know, this blade is sick as fuck. Like, I might try it. And then Zoro's just like, all right, whatever. Like, I'll do it. And then it's like he pulls up the sword and he's about to commit seppuku. And then he's like, oh, there's enough evidence. Like, the guy's like rubbing it in, like, oh, there's enough evidence. Like, come on, just do it. And we get the most epic way to end a chapter. 2003 epic. It shows the same girl playing the shamisen, and he's about to commit seppuku, and the guy holding the sword to like cut his head off when he commits seppuku. And Zoro, we see a shot of his eye, look, with the shading over it, and he's like, I smell blood on you. Like, you're the actual killer, aren't you? And the shamisen like, ding ding. He just pivots in place, turns around with the seppuku like dagger, not even a sword, and he cuts not only the dude holding Shusui, but the entire building before and behind him, like, in half.
Like, this was some bleach ass Getsuga Tensho shit.
Yeah.
And like, I hate it. And like, immediately after this, like, Zoro bemoans himself, and he's just like, forgive me, Kinemon, like, I fucked up. The war's starting right now, I guess.
God, it's insane. That's where chapter 909 ends. Straight into chapter 910. The cover story is Orlumbus on an island, similar, I assume similar to
No, it's the same island because it has like the dumbass droopy houses that are like stitched together.
Oh shit! It happened! It happened!
Okay, but like,
it happened!
Get the hell out. You know what I mean.
It only took one chapter, but it happened!
I hate you.
Oh my god, I didn't...
How'd you not notice?
It happened, bro! It happened! Anyways, yeah, he's feeding the poor, and he's like, oh man, Orlumbus is being chill as fuck. I love Orlumbus. We then cut straight into the Thousand Sunny sailing towards Wano, and they're talking about the Reverie, and it makes it very apparent to me that we're not going back to Reverie until later, and that sucks. I wanted to see the shit hit the fan, but
yeah, we might get like we might see what happens at the end of Reverie in like newspapers, like we usually do.
Yeah, I can't lie and say that I'm not bummed, because I did want to see like the entire Reverie, but I
Give
get
me
it.
the politics.
Yeah, exactly.
I read One Piece for the politics.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, we get 1,000 Sunny, everything's like normal again, other than all the shit, other than them having to patch up the ship from what Big Mom did to it. I like
Chopper
like
just sitting
Chopper's
there, like,
wearing the same rope thing that like Momotaro is wearing. He's like nailing like the things together. But yeah, we just get Nami basically just giving exposition, like straight to Luffy, like, oh, like what's going on in the Reverie? Because Luffy's like, Reverie, like what the fuck is that? And
exactly, dumbass Luffy.
yeah. So she's just talking like, oh, like all the, everybody's there, and Shirahoshi was there, and they're giving a warm welcome. And oh, your grandfather was their escort, and he's like, oh, that's pretty sick. And then we get Sanji back to his old goofs.
Adulterous ass Sanji.
Yeah,
And like,
I like Nami beating his, like punching him in the head, like telling him to move. But I really like the bottom left panel of this page where he's like fucking Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny, like tiptoe, and his butt is in the air, like dancing.
I hate it. Why? Why are you doing this? You have pudding, you bastard.
Yeah, you lecherous bastard. No, I liked it. And then they're reading the newspaper and they're looking at all the pictures, like, oh, if Dressrosa's there, like that means Rebecca's there, or Viola and Rebecca are there, and the acorn guy.
And then Shirahoshi and everything, and like,
yeah, and he just starts having like a nut storm, and he's like, I bet they're all talking about me. It's, oh man,
Nami points out the, like, oh hey Chopper, look, it's the doctor, and Chopper immediately starts like cutting the clip out and everything, and you see as he's cutting up like Kaido's face on the other side, as well as like there's Big Mom's face there. And then the next fucking page, like Sanji's like, wait, I haven't read the other page, there's holes now. And then like, article about Kaido, something Bing Bomb, what's going to happen, she's going to what, I can't read this. And like, they just refuse to fucking give it back.
Sanji, Chopper, give me those clippings. Nope. Oh my god. And then Luffy's like, oh, like I hope we get to see him again, like that'd be fun. And Brook's like, yeah, like how, like in time we'll see them. And he's like, by the way, how's the Denden Mushi? And Luffy is screaming into what I assume is the Straw Hat Fleet Denden Mushi. It's either that or it's the Denden Mushi for Nami and the others.
Yeah, the main crew and everything. One or the other.
One or the other. But anyways, he's screaming into it and nobody's picking up. This is where shit gets in 910 gets really Oda flexing his drawing abilities, and also like Oda flexing his capacity, his maximum capacity for goofs.
Because you turn the page, and at some point, it varies where. But they start talking about this whole like weather situation, that strong winds, crazy currents, the weather's horrible, and very beautiful 2-page spread. It looks amazing. Oda's flexing. And then Nami and Brook continue this conversation. Like, Nami's like, oh, like, Kinemon mentioned this. And at this point, you have to see.
At this point, you would have to have noticed a giant octopus taller than Brook just on the ship participating in the conversation. The fucking Carrot in the background even notices she's looking straight at him.
Like, that's when I noticed it. He's in the panel immediately, like, he's in 2 panels before this, where he's, like, standing next to Brook, but, like, it's just very close and you see half of him.
Yeah.
And, like, we went back Like in the previous page, you see him like actually get on the ship, but it's all like restricted. His movement is restricted to the corners of the panels.
Oh my god, I didn't notice you do see him. The splish
Yeah.
was him, and then you see his leg.
Yeah.
I love
cute.
Oda, dude.
The octopus comes into play in just a second.
Yeah, Brooke starts talking about like bad weather all the time. Like, we'll just have to push through it. Their samurai is strong, and the place itself is impossible to get into. No wonder they're an isolationist country. And like, I assume at the mention of isolationist country, the octopus just fucking like makes like "Ooh," and then he salutes. And that's when Nami finally like turns around and realizes
her eyes are like bulging out and everything. It's just like, what? Everyone's freaking out. The octopus is like going on. It's chaos, absolute chaos. And then koi fish just fucking appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, I in the other translation I read. So the octopus, real quick, the octopus keeps saying like pon, P-O-N.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it says
way.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. It says a sound made in kabuki plays often preceded by or followed with a drum-like instrument called a suzumi, which makes a pon sound. So I guess it's just like some kind of kabuki play, like pun.
Oh, it might be. I don't know a lot about like kabuki plays and whatnot, but that sounds very in line with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, yeah, these weird fucking koi fish. They just the Straw Hats find themselves in this weird like current, just being pulled by these koi fish, and Sanji immediately is like, "What the fuck are koi doing in the ocean? Like, those are freshwater fish. Like, what is going on?" And then obviously Luffy didn't even hear any of that explanation. He was like, he didn't hear any of the concern, like, why are freshwater fish in the ocean? He's just like, hey, Sanji, are koi tasty? And then Sanji, not even like trying to be like, Luffy, shut the fuck up, we should be worried about this weird shit. Sanji just goes off. He's like, oh yeah, like if you can cook them in cold water, you know, koi sashimi, or boil them, make a miso stew. Just
though, one thing I do want to point out is like, is Oda a 5-star chef, or does he have like a contact where he like, beep, boop, 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 boop. Hey man, can you cook koi fish? And the person's like, oh yeah man, like, you know, they're pretty good, this is how you prepare. Just like offhanded comments. They don't even know that like Oda like writes this whole shit or anything.
Oda has a ghostwriter for Sanji.
Dude, I would 100% buy that. I can see that.
Yeah, oh man. So Luffy jumps on to one of the fucking koi fish that's in the ocean. like it's surrounded by water, and he just jumps on this fish, and he's like, hey, quit struggling, you stupid fish. And like, Nami puts it as best as it's ever been put. She says, why are you like this, damn it?
Honestly, that's the only reaction to Luffy ever.
Why are you like this? Oh man, yeah. This next panel or the next page, when you turn the page, I will say I do like Sanji going like, worry about the ship and worry about what the hell this octopus is. Oh man.
Whatever the hell is going on, all I can process is that like the 2-page spread is a very nice flex on Oda's part, where it's like everyone's seen it. It's called The Great Wave off Kanagawa, one of Hokusai's 40 something, doesn't matter. Hokusai, this like semi-anonymous ukiyo-e artist, was most known for this image, The Great Wave off Kanagawa, and in the distance you're supposed to see like Mount Fuji. Here what you see instead of Mount Fuji is the Thousand Sunny, and I think that shit's like really, really cute.
Yeah. I would really like if somebody like had this panel as like a print or like a poster, like colored in just like the
that'd
original.
Be good merch. Yeah, that'd be good ass merch.
Yeah, and yeah, so Brooke is like pointing out like, oh, like this water is like a mountain stream, like it's super clear, like what's going on? And they start questioning if they're in like a river or something. And
they're freaking out.
Yeah. Carrot is like excited because obviously she's never seen like any of the outside world. And Chopper is like Chopper is crying and freaking out because it's revealed in the next 2-page spread that the koi are going up this waterfall. They're going up the river, up a waterfall. And everybody's like, our ship can't do that and we're going to die.
And which is funny, as if they forgot, like they fucking like flew once on the Going Merry. Like, guys, please, anything is possible in this dumbass universe. Like, if a fucking man went to the moon on some like electrically powered arc. Like, come on, y'all. Please.
Yeah, he went to the moon and discovered aliens that I'm still convinced are important to the true history of the world.
He went to one of the 7 moons.
Yeah.
Let's not get into this.
Oh, no. All right, dial it back. More goofs.
So they're freaking out, and Nami's like, what? And then she like explains that there must be like a reservoir, and that's why there's so much fresh water here. That's why the koi can be here and everything.
Yeah, she's like, Wano's probably at the top of this. Like, that's probably where the reservoir is, in Wano.
Madman Luffy's just like, oh, these koi are strong. And then Nami's like, hey, we're gonna sink. And he's like, all right, I got this. And just fucking wrangles on 2 koi fish. And just, that's how
oh my goodness.
I hate him.
Luffy, why is he like this? That is the like,
honestly, that's like the best burn. That's something Adri tells me a lot. She just goes like, why are you like this? Like all the time, always.
That's just that from now on, that's just the subtitle for One Piece. One Piece, why is he like this?
If that ain't the goddamn truth.
Yeah, so Luffy, madman that he is, basically pod races them up the waterfall with the koi fish. And the octopus is still there. I don't know why. Oh my god.
They fucking land somehow after.
Yeah, they get up the waterfall and then they get into like they get sucked into a whirlpool, and Luffy wakes up on the shore, and now Luffy is presumably separated from the rest of the crew.
Crab walks by, like wakes him up and everything. He's alone, like very that episode of SpongeBob.
alone.
And he's like, oh, this is Wano. Where's everyone? What happened? And then all he sees is this fucking giant creature ram the Thousand Sunny.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, what the fuck? He looks at the lion dog, and he's like, oh, what a big dog. Or boar?
And he's like confused.
You dumbass.
I love you brought it up earlier when we talked about it. I love like Luffy training on Ruskaina for like 2 years with all these giant animals. He is just so unfazed by giant animals as a whole. He saw this big mythical creature. He's just like, oh, what's up, dog or boar? Like, stop hitting my ship. And then even the next page, when it shows the monkey that the boar thing is fighting, and it's like this, weird monkey, like, ape thing with a katana, and he's just like, oh, this thing's got a sword. I guess I really am in Wano.
So hear me out real quick. Last chapter, 909. What we got were, like, pseudo, like, stylized Oda boxes of the other half of the Straw Hat crew in their like new Edo period identities.
Yeah.
Right next to this monkey is the same exact style of Oda box. And at first I thought it was just like an onomatopoeia. This might be a named monkey. And this monkey's name might be Hee.
Oh, fuck. Hee.
Hee, the katana-wielding giant monkey.
Holy shit.
I hate it. And Luffy just sits there and he's like, oh, that animal's got a katana. Guess this really is Wano.
Oh my god. Alright. Don't make the mistake I did and Google Hee Japanese, because that's all I searched. And let me just say some of these Google searches. The first 4 before I finally got what it means. So Hee means baboon in English. Like the Japanese. Yeah, you did it too? Yes.
Oh.
So in Hee in Japanese, according to what this says, just means baboon.
You could have just asked me. I have a dictionary because
motherfucker,
Google shows. Yee.
Or apparently there's a yokai.
Oh yeah, it means baboon or critic.
Hee. the
critic.
Japanese ape critic with a sword.
That's what he uses to criticize everything. That's it. That's his
Oh, okay, so the Hee is like from like it's a giant baboon, but it's like a mythological baboon, I think.
Maybe. All I'm positing in this whole thing is that he's got a name.
Yeah,
his name's
monkey
Hee.
with the sword has a Oda box. That should be the takeaway of both of these chapters. Like fuck the reverie, fuck Zoro killing someone. Like, this baboon has a name, and he also has a sword.
This is the best gift Oda has ever given us.
Yeah.
Dark Horse. That's a very fancy ass looking sheath. Dark Horse. This is a named sword.
If it turns out that the sword is named Hee, I might die. Like, I might bust out laughing.
I mean, we're close to the end of our time, unless like we've got a discussion. But early crack theory, I guess.
No, I got nothing else. We can end it here. We're not on break next week, so hell yeah.
All right, but even before the whole plug and promo, crack theory, the sword's name is Hee.
Yeah, that's. I don't even think that's a crack theory. That's the truth, my man.
Shit, it might be.
Damn, is Tashigi gonna fucking Tashigi and Hee?
Please never say. Please don't speak ever again.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways,
well,
I put John in jail for crimes against humanity, please take this time to go to our social media. Drop us a line. We are at ParameciaCast on Twitter. Search us up on Facebook and YouTube as Paramecia Fancast. And as usual, we are parameciafancast.libsyn.com. And our episodes will always go on there first. I don't know, time zone differences are weird. Do they go up on Thursday or Wednesday?
I usually try to get them up by Thursday, but sometimes if they're done beforehand, I'll bust my ass and get them all prepped to go out on Wednesday.
All right, let's assume Thursday. They go up on Thursday, and then a couple hours after that, it'll be up on YouTube. And have a great week.
Yeah, have a great week, you bunch of hee-hees. That's that word is so funny to me. Hee-hee. Hee-hee.